Hello classmates, my name is Jocelyn Vera Garcia and the topic of our presentation is the sounds of language. First, I would like to start with two definitions. The first one is International Phonetic Alphabet or IPA, that it is an already established analytic framework for the study of speech segments. The other definition is phonetics, that it is the study of the characteristics of speech sounds. There are three branches of phonetics. Articulatory phonetics, which is the study of how speech sounds are made or articulated. Acoustic phonetics, which deals with the physical properties of speech as sound waves in the air. And auditory phonetics, which deals with the perception of speech sounds via the ear. Within articulatory phonetics, we can investigate how speech sounds are produced using the complex oral equipment we have. It starts with the air pushed out by the lungs through the trachea into the larynx. And inside the larynx, we have the vocal cords or vocal folds, which can take two positions. One position is when the vocal cords are spread apart and the air passes between them unimpeded. Sounds produced in this way are voiceless. This can be felt physically if you put your fingertip on the top of your Adam's apple, then produce sounds such as s, and there should be no vibration. The other position is when the vocal cords are together and the air pushes them apart as it passes through, creating a vibration effect. Sounds produced in this way are voiced. Again, this can be felt physically if you put your fingertip on the top of your Adam's apple, then produce sounds such as zzz, and there you should be able to feel some vibration. Now, I'm going to talk about the place of articulation. After passing through the larynx, the air comes up and out through the mouth and or the nose. Most consonant sounds are produced using the tongue and other parts of the mouth to constrict the shape of the oral cavity through which the air is passing. The terms used to describe consonant sounds are those that indicate its place of articulation. In this figure, we can identify the parts of the oral cavity that are crucially involved in speech production, such as the lips, the teeth, the alveolar ridge, the palate, the velum, the uvula, the pharynx, the larynx, inside larynx, the vocal folds, and the tongue.
Hello everybody, my name is Florencia Sanchez and I'm going to talk about consonants. Many symbols used to describe consonant sounds in English could be familiar. We use p in pop, b in bob, and in mum to describe bilabial sounds, which are made up with both lips. We use f and the to describe labiodentals, using the upper teeth and the lower lip at the beginning and the end of the word five. Behind the upper teeth, there is a rough area where we make the alveolar sounds, as in tot, s and as in size, d as in dad, and n as in none. Of course, there isn't always a match between the written letter and the phonetic symbols, as in the pronunciation at the beginning of the word photo and the end of the word enough. In both cases, we will represent the sounds with f. More tricky are the sounds at the end of the word face versus phase. If you hear clearly, you will hear an s sounds in the first one and a z sounds in the second one. Other symbols are much less familiar, as in the two ways to represent the th sounds in English. We use for the voiceless version of the sound, as in worth and three. We use to describe the voiced version, as in loath, and thus. Because the thing are involved in the production of the sounds, they are called dentals. There are some special symbols for the sounds made in the middle area of the mouth, involving the palate and the tongue. We use sh to describe the sh sounds in English, as in shoe. We use ch to represent the ch sounds, as in child. These are the voiceless version. Their voice counterpart are their voice counterpart are jean, as in treasure, and jean, as in judge. Another sound made up in this area is ya, which typically represents the y sounds, as in yo-yo. Because the palate is involved in the production of the sound, these are called palatals. Towards the back of the mouth, involved in the velum, are represented by the pillars. K, as in kick, as g, as in gig. Another sound made in this area is called angna, and we use it in words like tongue and ringing. When we are describing consonant sounds, we also have to take into account the manner of articulation. Stops. We block the airflow briefly and let it go abruptly, and we produce the voice stops p, t, and k. The voice stops b, d, and g. The fricatives. We almost block the airflow and release it through a narrow gap, producing a type of friction. The fricative voices are f, s, sh, and h. And the voiced counterpart are v, the, z, and j. The affricates, we combine a brief stopping of the airflow and with a release of the narrow gap, producing the following sounds: the voiced ch and the voiced j. Nasals. When the balloon is lowered, allowing the airflow go through the nose, we can produce the nasals and Liquids. The L is formed by letting the airflow go through the sides of the tongue as the tip touches near the alveolar ridge. The R sounds in red is formed with the tip of the tongue raised and curled back near the alveolar ridge. The glides, wa and ya, are produced in motion to a position of the vowels. For those, they are called semisvowels.
Hello, my name is Martina Sandoval, and as my partner said, those are the most common consonant sounds. We can review and summarize this information in a chart, the consonant chart. I'm also going to talk about glottal stops. A glottal stop is produced when the space in the glottis is closed completely, very briefly, and then released. It's represented by this symbol. An example of this is in the word When we say no, as in there is a stop there, and that is a glottal stop. Another example is in the word background, here, and setback, here. Glottal stops. Another topic is flap sounds. Flap sounds are produced when the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge. For example, in the word metal or metal. Another topic is vowels. Vowels are produced with a free flow of air. We consider vowels, we consider the position of the tongue and how influences the airflow. To talk about points of articulation, we have to consider the space inside the mouth. And we have front, back, high, and low area of the mouth. For example, in the word hat, we have the tongue in a low area of the mouth.
Hello everyone, my name is Verena Zogaray and now I'm going to talk about diphthongs. What is a diphthong? Diphthong is a sound produced by a combination of two vowel sounds. In this process, the vocal organs move from one vocal position to another vocal position as we produce a sound. For example, to produce the word 8, we go from the mid-front vowel sound E to the high-front vowel sound E. As a result, we produce the diphthong A. Another example is the word noise. We go from the mid-back vowel sound O to the high-front vowel sound E to produce the diphthong OI. The last topic of our presentation is subtle individual variation. Vowels are notorious for varying between one variety of English and the next. Often this is a key element to recognize different accents. We can see that some words are not pronounced with a vowel sound exactly as listed. For example, it is possible that we don't make a distinction between these two words, cut and cold, using in both cases the vowel sound O. This can also happen with the central vowel schwa and a. Exist many other variations in the physical articulation of sounds, and while more we focus on the subtle differences in the articulation of each sound, more likely we will find differences of small groups or individual speakers. These subtle differences enable us to identify individual voices and recognize people as soon they speak. We also are able to recognize each underlying sound type as a part of a word with a particular meaning, taking into account the more general sound patterns or the phonology of a language. Finally, we are going to propose an exercise to you. First, identify the consonants in the following words and describe them according to the place of articulation, manner of articulation, and if they are voiced or voiceless. Then, identify the vowels in the following words and describe them according to the place of articulation. The words are teeth, back, trust, or brush, right, call, last, begin, and front. Good luck and thanks for watching.